Hi, I'm Jeff Wimmer from Studio Cycles. This is the 411 on buying a Star Trac V-Bike version 2. The Star Trac V-Bike was the original bike that Star Trac built to compete with spinning when they were aligned with Schwinn back in the very beginning of the indoor cycling revolution. The original Star Trac V-Bike has a flat, skinny flywheel, no perimeter weighting. The gauge of the flywheel from the perimeter to the center is the same. After Schwinn and Spinning dissolved their partnership, Star Trac took over the manufacturing of the Spinner series bikes, and they continued making the non-perimeter weighted V-bike for another year or two. Then they redesigned the V-bike and they added the Spinner perimeter weighted flywheel to the V-bike, and that's when it was called the Star Trac V-Bike version 2. This is a version 3 Spinner V, which is a current version bike. The Star Trac V-Bike version 2 is identical to this bike, except the flywheel sticker is different. On the version 2, it'll be a silver flywheel sticker, typically with 3 Star Trac logos, and it'll have blue plastic here. The version 2 V-Bike was really sort of the evolution, if you will, of the V-Bike series bikes, in that the original V-Bike with non-perimeter weighted flywheel, most people who ride these things are not cyclists, so they bring a Stairmaster pedal stroke to the table. When you ride a perimeter weighted bike, if you're a non-cyclist and you don't have a developed pedal stroke, that perimeter weighting produces aggressive inertia, and it takes a non-cyclist kind of clumsy up-down pedal stroke and smooths it out and gives you a 360-degree rotation. So the V-Bike version 2 really was a turning point for Star Trac with their V-Bike series bikes. The V-Bike is a great bike for petite women because you can move the handlebars forwards and backwards and fine-tune the cockpit. A lot of petite women find themselves stretched way forward on the bike, particularly in hand position 3 when they're in a climbing position. The only problem with the Star Trac V-Bike version 2 that I've seen from time to time is that a lot of the companies who build those bikes and put them in the clubs, they'll build them like tables from IKEA. They'll pull them out of the box, bolt them together, put them in the club. I developed what I call the Quiet Tune build process a few years back, where in addition to all the extra things we do to the bike before we build it, Quiet Tune, what that means is things are taken into consideration, like the alignment of the flywheel, the tension of the chain, the lubrication process of the drivetrain, the alignment of the flywheel sprocket in conjunction with the chain wheel in terms of being aligned up and aligned, and the varying points of chain tension in the revolution of the drivetrain. Why I'm in business? Why I've written 6 different books in the last 10 years is because so many companies pull the bikes from the box, bolt them together, and put them in the clubs, and they're immediately 5, 6, 7 classes a day, 7 days a week. So when a bike is bolted together like a table from IKEA and used in a commercial setting, it literally starts to disintegrate from the inside out in many, many cases, especially if the chain's too tight or too loose or the flywheel's not aligned correctly, or most of the incidental mechanisms of the bikes will be dry. So the Star Trac V-Bike version 2 is a safe bet if it's been effectively refurbished from the inside out and it has a valid warranty. Go to studiocycles.com to check out our bike buyer aid videos, which are free. Again, studiocycles.com.